it's not even showing the TV. So let's see what it does now. There is no audio going, so I don't know what it's talking about. I don't know. I don't even know what is going on with this. Just stupid. I don't even know. My connection is not unstable. You're unstable. What the heck is wrong with this thing? I don't even know what's going on with this thing now. Because I had way more you on here, Melody. Is it you on here? It says well, I had 2 participants.
But what's YouTube thing on?
It's on mine.
Your
Not the Trinity one. Mine.
none of them have one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You on the Trinity Church PDX one is a next.
Come here. It should say Ford Stream 4.1 2.0. Go to view channel. Right there. And it has you on it.
Is there no sound?
I don't know. Am I talking? Is it doing any sound right now? Can you hear me?
Oh wait, it's muted.
Okay. Well, it's not much of a delay, right? Dude, seriously? He's gonna need to go in our bedroom. What's up, Cameron? Why is your sister not joining? Because it can be. Because it could be you. That makes sense. I'm going to try this again. Hopefully it does like it did already. I don't want to go over that yet because I messed up. Sorry, I know I got a squealing sound when I move this. Scraping makes noise. I'm going to keep waiting for more people to show up. We're not doing the stream on Instagram today. I can't turn any music on because last time I had any music on, it's going to be quiet in here. Last time I had music on, it booted my live stream, which is messed up. You going to paint, T?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you have appropriate clothes on for that.
Yeah.
So.
Should I put out that paper stuff?
Yeah, did you guys throw it away already? I hope not. I should be able to just lay it out. Oh. Doom, 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 doom. We got 4 people on here. Who is it? I only see 3. If you're here, let us know you're here. It says Allie, but it's Cameron. I know Melody's here. Oh, Jeremy. There you go. He showed up in the participants and then left. He can't see you because he left. Oh, maybe he's back now. Boom, boom. What is that? A weird emoji of like a ninja dabbing? Or is it like a, I don't even get that. Like a Hello Kitty with no ears dabbing? Is that what it is? Oh, there's all sorts of goofy stuff in here, huh? Some YouTube custom ones. Here's the appropriate social distancing high five. I think that's hitting elbows. I don't even know. It looks like hitting elbows, right? With no hands. So what's happening with my voice, Melody?
I don't know. Just keep on.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's like 1 million people live since the 6-foot air high five. Hey, Julie, what's up?
Are you not going to be in here with me? Okay.
I had to restart the stream. This is my 3rd one. I started it early, and I had music going on my phone next to the computer, and I guess they were like, hey, you're streaming someone else's content, and then they shut it down. And then I had it just like this, looking at the TV, and it's like, hey, you're using someone else's content. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Your upside down face chin picture thing is really weird looking. Did everyone just read Alyssa's thing with like a completely southern accent? Hi, y'all. That's how I heard it. That's how I read it. Hi, y'all. Yeah, Cameron, we know that's a nose. Seen him before. What up, y'all? Stop saying y'all. Y'all. Your mom just said to stop saying y'all, Tirza, and then she wrote y'all while saying to stop saying y'all. So I had to read y'all. Oi. What's a girlfriend? Cameron, no one even understands what you're putting on there right now. Like a cookie, knife, cheers, and crazy person. I don't even understand what that is. All right, we got 7 people. Let me see who we got here so far. Julie, where's your friend? Mia, that is. I know she has more than one friend, but she only has one friend that comes on here. That's not true, Alyssa. And if it is true, you're just mean to other people you know. Because you have other people that say you have friends. I don't know. I tried texting Allie too, and she hasn't replied at all. What's not true? That you are just mean to other people? I know you're not mean to other people, but you have. What's up, Jason? You have other friends. Nicole's your friend. Emma's your friend. Memes is your friend. I don't know. There's more. I know. Allie says no. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Don't forget about my lit lad. No one even knows what you're talking about, Alyssa. What's a spedot? I know, but you are Dad Spedozant. You are Dad Spedozant. No, it's because you can't come super far away. I know she's not coming over here. She only has to log on to the feed. No one can come. We're not letting any. Did you miss anything when you went to get nachos? No, just a bunch of nonsense, I'm sure. Anyway, you see, that's the date today. Oh, Siri, you stupid thing. I was gonna play a joke on you guys, but I figured I wouldn't do that because then you all just make me feel bad. So, is Joel on here? Okay, good. Saw Boone today in your neighborhood. Does Boone live in your neighborhood? I'm what a lot? I'm buffering a lot. I'm buffering a lot because you're on the same network, and so is your mom, and so am I, and we're all streaming this at the same time. That's why I'm buffering if that's what's happening, Mel. Yeah, I was going to play a prank on you guys. I was going to tell you that I was leaving Trinity to go to a bigger church where they were going to pay me more money, but I didn't want you guys to cheer, so I'm not going to say that because it's not true anyway. What's up, Zach? Have you seen Beaumont yet? All right. And the government slowed down the internet? I don't think the government slowed down the internet. I think everybody at home streaming Netflix on 6 televisions while searching Facebook and doing work for school and or work is slowing down the internet. The government is stupid. That's probably true. But the good news is we're not talking about the government this week. We're talking about it next week. Yeah, that's right. What we are going to talk about today, though, is this. Can y'all see that? I'll get out of the way. They don't want you to break the internet. Ralph already wrecked the internet. We already know that. They made a movie about it. All right, so you guys see what we're talking about today. People are worried about their mortality. Mortality. Does anyone know what mortality means? You want Captain Trinity to come back? You can't afford Captain Trinity. He is far too expensive to have guests speak. It was enough we had to take up an extra offering last week just to pay him to come and do just to do the kids' worship. Mortality means dying. Okay, so people are worried about dying. Okay, you pay Cap Try. What? He's probably still napping. That's true. Haven't seen him in a couple of days. So he hasn't even been active on Instagram. For those of you who are on Instagram, so he's trying to make the most of his 8.5 minutes of fame because that's about how long the dance thing was. Okay, so last week we talked about virus and so much is going on with that it's causing OLAG. What does that mean? What's happening is, what do you guys mean? What are you guys talking about? Are you saying, yep, it's lagging? What's up, Caitlin? Well, if it's lagging, it's because I'm going to ask, hey, wife and Melody, switch off the Wi-Fi and just stream it from the other room on data. We have unlimited data. So let's see. I know what I think it is all 3 of them on the internet at the same time is pulling it down. So I'm going to have them jump off of that. They can keep streaming or they can come in here. But need to do it on data instead. You guys know how to do that, right? You did just now, or you have done it like a while ago? Okay, so hopefully that will fix it a little bit. We'll give it a minute and see if it fixes that. It could be the resolution on my screen. Maybe it doesn't like how bright that is. So let's see if that fixes it. But we talked about last week. Yeah, hey, Cadence. Hey, Kaylin. We talked about the coronavirus has caused us as a people, as a nation, as a world to be fearful of our neighbors. And I showed those funny pictures of people walking with masks on everywhere they go, people fighting over toilet paper, that kind of stuff. And then what we are called to as Christians is to not act like that. And we're supposed to follow Jesus. And to follow Jesus, he calls us to love our neighbors. First, he calls us to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's that first and greatest commandment. And he gives that second one. It is, there's toilet paper in the stores. We got a 12-pack today at Winco. You got to go to Winco in the morning. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, and loving your neighbor means going above and beyond and seeing it. And then the guy asks, who's my neighbor? And then Jesus paints that picture of your neighbor is anyone, even those people that you think might be your enemy. Sorry, people are texting me. Natalie's texting me asking if I'm streaming.
I already sent them a message.
I know. That's all right. You're not getting up that early where you're not getting toilet paper. Dollar Tree has toilet paper. Safeway was selling it by the roll, 50 cents a roll. Lisa, when do we do the Zoom, or are we not doing that? No. Sorry. You're not going to Dollar Tree. You don't want toilet paper then. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting distracted by the comments and the people texting me and trying to tell the recap. Anyway, that was number 4 on our list of things that are observations that I've had about this social distancing. The next one is people are very concerned about their mortality, and if they're dying. And if you don't believe me, hop on Facebook, scroll for a little bit, and you'll see over and over and over again both the news articles. If you follow any news ones like Fox 12, I follow Fox 12, and I just unfollowed them for 30 days because honestly, it's just so up and down, and the comments that go on there are people angry when they give good news and people angry when they give bad news, and people say that they're blowing things out of proportion. It's crazy. And the biggest thing in that is that the stuff that's getting said out there is that that's next week. I'm not going to get into that kind of stuff, but people are very concerned about being one of the millions that die. Here's the deal, just so you know. There's like 47,000 in the entire world that have died. For us to get to millions, we would need to, do the math. Million, we're not even at 50,000 yet. 50,000 is a long ways away from a million. So just so you know, we're not close to that number. Anyway, I know people are asking about the Zoom thing. I'm going to hit that at the end of this. So stay on till the end, and we'll talk about that stuff too, because I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed that. And we might decide that we like that better than even just doing this, when everyone can hop on a video and do that. But we'll talk about that here. And I wanted to do that on a Wednesday before we jumped off. Does that make sense? Cool. But people are scared about their mortality. And let's look at some Bible stuff here. Turn and see if this shows up all right. It might be hard to read. Does it have too much glare? Is it okay? There we go. Okay. So we're going to be in the book of Philippians a little bit today. We're going to be in the book of Corinthians a little bit today. But this is Paul. Paul's writing to the church in Philippi. And he writes, "What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice." And then he starts getting into the nitty-gritty here. "Yes, I will rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, this will turn out for my deliverance." He's writing to them while in prison. He's in prison for talking about Jesus, so let's keep going. "As is my eager expectation and hope that I will not be at all ashamed, but with full courage, as always, Christ will be honored in my body." And he's talking again from prison, whether by life or by death, that Christ would be honored in my body, whether by life or by death. He's coming at this with a very unique perspective here. This is Paul again. He's in jail. Okay, he's in jail, and he could be killed or he could be kept in prison There's a lot of stuff that could happen to him here. And then he says this remarkable sentence here. Okay? You'll see it right there. For me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I'm to live in the flesh, that's if I should live and stay alive as a human normally lives, that means fruitful labor for me, yet which I shall choose. I can't tell. Okay, let's keep going. One more. I am hard pressed between the two. The choice is between living or dying. Which one he's most interested in participating in. Again, this is an uncommon point of view here. My desire is to depart and be with Christ. And he's saying, I'm actually kind of interested in dying and going with Jesus. That is far better. Okay, so here we got the big catchphrase here that we get this a lot. People get this tattooed. People get these verses tattooed on them, bumper stickers, all that kind of stuff. To live is Christ. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to fix that. I got lots of bars here. So, did you guys catch all that, or is my voice glitching out, distracting to everybody? We got you. Okay. But all that stuff, I mean, we just read that. Paul is setting up that he might die and that he might get to live. And he's trying to figure out which one is better. Repeat what? Repeat what? Julie, what do you want me to repeat? Read the whole verse again? Or the whole verses again? Never mind. It's fine now. Okay. Maybe it caught up. But what do you guys think about that? What's that perspective that he has, and how does someone get that perspective? But let's leave it then. We'll come back to that because we got another set of verses here to go. It's going to be bright. Maybe it glitches out because it doesn't like looking at the screen. Pulls too much data. I don't know. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 50 to 55. I tell you this, brothers. Again, this is Paul writing to a church he started in Corinth. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, nor does the perishable inherit the imperishable. So living things can't inherit unliving things. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at that last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the deed will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed. For this perishable body must put on the imperishable, and this mortal body must put on immortality. Okay, it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying, but it's going to tie in here. When the perishable puts on the imperishable, and the mortal puts on immortality, then shall come to pass the saying that is written. Okay? Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting? Okay? I'll let you guys see this. It's kind of it looks like, if it catches it, come on. Focus in. I don't know, on my screen it looks super, super cool. It looks like the opening credits to Star Wars. He's challenging death here. He's calling death out. Death, where's your sting? Death, where's your victory? Death, where's your boldness? Death, what do you think is so great about you? Okay, again, this is Paul later in his life. And he has this understanding that everybody's going to die. But his hope, his courage is not in the fact that he's going to live a long time. What gives Paul this boldness? This boldness and defiance. This boldness and being willing to die to go and be with Jesus has to come from somewhere, right? What gives Paul this boldness? Anyone think they know? How about this question? Does anyone know? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, God. Thanks, Mel. You're not wrong. It's not quite the... Yeah. Anyone know what Sunday is? What is this Sunday? Palm tree. Okay. Zach says God, Esther, church. Yeah, Joe, who's Esther? Should be an H in there, though. That's how you spell Esther. It's a TH. No, this Sunday is not Easter. It is Palm Sunday, you weirdos. Yes, you're right, Lise. And Julie. Melody almost got there with palm tree. But what makes Palm Sunday significant? I mean, it has a name. It isn't just like last Sunday. It's just Sunday. But this coming Sunday is Palm Sunday. Why is that significant? I know, Zach, everything's goofy. It seems like it should be Easter, but Easter, but we don't get to celebrate it, so it feels weird. But why is Palm Sunday significant? Yeah, you do praise God. Jesus came on a donkey. That is unique. It's the only time we know he was riding on a donkey. No, I don't want to tell you. I want to give people, because I know everybody's computers are lagging at different rates and people are typing. So Julie has wild guess, but it was Palm Sunday was a day that Jesus rode on a donkey and people held. Palm trees died on that day. Some of you guys are just trying to be funny. That's true. Some of y'all should understand maybe the significance of Palm Sunday by now. Jeremy's waiting for me to give the answer because no one answers. But I want to see the jokes aside, because I know some of y'all can give a good solid answer stuff here. People did say Hosanna. You're right. You don't remember why it happened, though. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay, so he rides in on the Sunday before Easter. So Palm Sunday is just the Sunday before Easter. And yes, he came in a certain way. He came in a certain way. He wasn't coming back from the dead yet. That's on Easter. So we got a week before that happens. Okay? He comes riding in and he's fulfilling some prophecies. That's why he rides on the donkey. He's riding on the donkey and they're yelling and they're praising and all that kind of stuff because they think that Jesus is entering a city. Do anyone know? Anyone know what city he's going into? It starts with the J. Starts with the J and ends with Jerusalem. Okay, he's going into Jerusalem. No, they just don't remember. Yeah, Jerusalem. Thanks, guys. You guys got it. Some of y'all are even spelling it right. That's nice work. Okay. Jerusalem. Yes, Jerusalem. Jeremy is not Jerusalem. Okay. He's going into Jerusalem. But here's the deal. The people there, the normal people there, they love them some Jesus. Okay. They're the ones that are cutting down the trees. They're not just laying the coats down or laying palm trees down. They're taking off their coats and laying them down for the donkey to walk on so that Jesus can go in there. Okay? This is like a king returning to the city after a major war that ended up in a major victory. That's what this is. But God said that it was going to happen too. He said it a couple hundred years beforehand. And so that's why Jesus is doing it in a certain way. We don't hear about him riding on a donkey or even horses or whatever, or camels any other time than this. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but the Bible doesn't actually talk about it, but it makes a very specific point of doing that here to fulfill a prophecy. But what happens on Friday after he comes into town? He doesn't just die, Melody. You're right. He does die, but he doesn't just die. Well, it's really lagging now. You're right, Joel. He gets crucified, but what does that mean? Arrested and crucified. See, Jesus knows he's walking into the last week of his life. He knows that while they're celebrating him today, on Thursday and Friday, they're going to be calling for him to be killed. The same people that are cheering him now, they're going to want him dead. And they're going to cheer and they're going to ask for an actual criminal to be set free instead of Jesus. But here's the deal. Jesus knew this was going to happen. None of this caught Jesus off guard. Later in that week, he would be betrayed by a close friend for 30 pieces of silver, and that he would be killed in a very gruesome way. Yet, he still came. And why? We look back at that passage in Corinthians, because of Easter, because he overcomes the grave. Now Paul and we can say, death, where's your sting? Death, where's your victory? You don't hold anything over us. But the interesting thing is with that, and I know you and I can say that, and we can hear that, we can read that in the Bible, we can have, this pastor, your pastor, get up there and say this, and you're like, yeah, that sounds good. But we all know that we can hear a lot of things, and it's a lot easier to hear things than it is to believe certain things, right? If you don't have proof of it, especially on a day like April Fool's, then who's to say it's real, right? People can make up anything. You don't believe me? Get on Facebook. People make up all sorts of crazy junk. Like the government makes up crazy junk. But here's this. Most kids your age, y'all for the most part, besides me and Lisa, y'all are teenagers. Or younger. Okay, yes, I get it. Some of you are 6th graders. I'm going to call you teenagers just for this, okay? So don't get mad at me calling you old. I'm calling you older than a teenager. Yes, wife. Okay? Most kids your age, and again, saying most, you guys can argue with me. You guys argue with me about this and that and that and that. But I think we can mostly agree that most kids don't think about death much. Or at least they assume that they're not going to die soon. And I know that there's a big epidemic of suicides, and I'm not talking about that. So if you're struggling with depression, you have friends, that's a big deal. That's not what I'm talking about here, okay? But for the most part, I think most of you would agree that you don't think I'm lagging bad. Okay, sorry I'm lagging back. I'll do the best I can. Okay, most of you don't think about the fact that you're eventually going to die because you assume that it's a long ways off. Okay, there's a song that I love. I've been playing it a lot lately. It's old. Came out like 2000 something. I know most of y'all weren't even, well, none of y'all were alive except for me and the wife. But it's John Mayer's song, and he says, I'm invincible as long as I'm alive. That's how most of us live, right? That's how I lived as a kid. I didn't do a bunch of crazy junk. Just saying. Didn't do a bunch of crazy junk. But I didn't figure I was going to die, and so far I haven't. So I figure, like most of you guys, that eventually you would get married. I figured eventually I'd get married. Eventually I'd have kids. I figure eventually I'm going to turn 60. I figure eventually I'm going to have grandkids at my house. And again, some of y'all are going to say, I'm never getting married. I get that. But most understand or at least assume that those would or could happen. Those things, like most of you guys assume you will turn 30 at some point in time. Most of you assume that you will graduate high school. Jeremy may not get to this year, and he might have to go back and do the whole deal again. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I'm old. That's fine. But most of us assume that we're going to live until this point in time in the future. And then that point in time, we'll be ready to die. For the most part, right? COVID-19, the coronavirus, the fear stuff that's being pushed out now, it's kind of changing that. Even just in a culture, even for kids your guys' age, it's changed some of that. T, can you turn on that light? That could be why it's lagging out because it's getting really dark. There. See if that helps a little bit. Plus, you can see what you're painting. But this has the potential to really change our culture. And there's a lot of people, at least right now, people your age, people my age, because I'm not that old. I'm under 40 years old. Okay. Yes, that's old compared to you guys, but really when people live until their 80s, I'm not even halfway there yet, okay? All right, my hair says I'm like 72, but my birth certificate says I'm 38, okay? But here's something for you guys. You guys have a great opportunity right now. You have a great opportunity to be hope bringers, to be life bringers. I'm going to pull up another verse. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. The tail end of what Paul was saying in Philippians. To remain in the flesh is more necessary on your account. Remember, he's talking about, I don't know if it's better for me to die and go with Jesus, because honestly, he's going, man, I wouldn't suffer anymore. I just get to go and hang out with Jesus and be with him in heaven. I'm not going to struggle with sin anymore. I'm not going to struggle with being hungry anymore. I'm not going to struggle with any of that kind of stuff. But you know what? It's probably better that I stay for your account. He's talking to the church there. If I stay, then I can make some more disciples. If I stay, then more people might get saved. Because here's the deal. This is true right here. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You guys hold so much power right there in what you could say, what you could type, either for good or for bad. You could drive huge barriers between people and God by saying some crazy junk or some mean stuff. But you could also speak hope. You could speak life. You're still alive. And you still have plenty of time to do some remarkable things. You have greater possibility to do some gospel work, to bring Jesus with you now. And you're going, I just sit at home all day. I'm starting to do some homework. It's kind of lame. I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. But we need to flip that mindset a little bit. I came across something this week, and I want to read it to you guys. Okay? And it's a poem, and it's about time. And so I want you guys to just hear it and think about it. And hopefully it won't glitch out on you guys. And this is how it goes. They say to use your time wisely. Right now, you may think you can do anything. It will burn like a fire inside you, aching and screeching and hissing in your ears until you can't handle it anymore. So think about your time, the seasons of your life, days, weeks, months, years, summer, spring, fall, winter, seconds, minutes, hours, deep and beautiful time. Decisions that could ultimately change your life. Use your time wisely because it doesn't last forever. Right there. I don't know if it works, if you can see it very well. Use your time wisely because it doesn't last forever. You can say right now, like, all I got is tons of time, and I don't feel like I'm using it for anything except for maybe doing a little bit of homework, checking my phone all the time to see if anyone's texting me because I'm just bored, watching Netflix, watching Hulu. What can you be doing right now that could bring hope, can bring life, could bring the gospel to some people that need to hear it, some people that need hope in this time? Are you willing to use your time wisely? Because it doesn't last forever. So I'm going to ask you guys now, and maybe you guys don't want to post that stuff on here. Well, one, thoughts on that. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to kind of process and say what you need to say. Any thoughts on that stuff? Anything besides making hand sanitizer? That's a good question, Julie. Says, I'm struggling to motivate myself to look to God. So how can I help others to look to God? Kind of feels like running on the beach, right? Whereas if you were running on the street, you could get there quick, but running in that soft sand just takes a lot of work, get tired real quick, right? So what are things that we could do that you could do that would help you look to God? I know for me, like I didn't sleep well last night. I'll just be honest with you guys. I had fake conversations in my head of people and groups that I was upset about. Most of y'all don't know, unless some of you might. Like Lisa's school laid her off this week. Hopefully it's temporary, just until we go back to school. But, you know, it's tough stuff, you know. And I was up all night, and the thoughts kept coming to my head. Man, I need to pray and give this to God. I can't do anything about this. And I couldn't. For 90 minutes, 2 hours. Couldn't sleep because of this. And it wasn't because I had a solution for this. But I finally prayed enough times to just say, God, let me give this to you, and I don't want to. I don't want to. If I wanted to, I would have done it already. I want to hold on to this frustration in me, and I want to tell somebody off. But that's not for me. It doesn't help me. But how we can be able to share about God with others is just come to God and say, man, I just need your help. Help me feel close to you so that I can bring people close to you. And I can say we can do a lot of stuff, like just read your Bible more, just pray more. Okay, we already know that stuff. Okay, we know that stuff. And it's not untrue. It's not untrue. But those habits are hard to get kickstarted. And I know for me, in this time, it just feels weird. It's a lot easier to hop on social media than it is to open up my Bible. It just is. But it doesn't mean it's possible. So if you're looking for something to read, if you're looking for a book to read, a book of the Bible, somewhere to start, even just tomorrow. Like I tossed out that thing a couple weeks ago about reading through Acts. I don't know if anyone's doing that. Maybe it's just not working for you guys. Totally fine. If you were following me in your actual paper Bible today and in Philippians, flip the pages back a little bit. Just read Ephesians. Or read Philippians. I don't care. Those are great books to just start reading. They're short. Acts is 28 chapters. Some of those chapters are a couple pages. Some are long. But if you're not doing it, it's fine. You want something else to do. Julie, if you want something that's simple and tangible and something that can maybe give you something right now, man, open up Philippians or Ephesians, man. I just read those all the time because you hear me quote them, and I teach out of them a lot because they're just rich and they're easy to understand. So I encourage you to look at them. Open it up and read one. You don't got to read the whole deal. Read a chapter. Think about what it says. Think about what it means. You have questions about it? Send me a message. So I'm going to ask now, what are things that we could be praying for you guys about? How can we be praying for you? And I mean, if you want to share for everybody, that's fine. If you don't want to put it on here, you can direct message us. You can send it on Instagram. You can text it to us. If you want to post it on here and have more people praying for you, that's fine too. But I know some stuff we want to just give to some folks where we trust them in that small space. Direct. Draw me a picture and I don't know, do whatever. Next week, we're going to talk about people trusting or distrusting the government. I'll let you know right now. I'm not going to pray for Christ or pray for Drew hasn't given his life to Christ. That's a good one. You guys have a Bible class here. Bible class at home. You can start sharing Christ with your brother, walking through stuff there too. I know your parents probably are too. People are distrusting or trusting the government. I'm not going to get into Trump versus whoever. Just not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. Not going to bash Trump, pro-Trump. We're not doing that. We're just going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on culturally with the COVID-19 that's going on. Okay. Just so you know, I don't usually get political, and I'm not going to get ultra political here. I'm just going to talk about how people are struggling with trusting or over trusting the government to protect them during this time. The last thing is Zoom meetings. Okay. A lot of you guys are using Zoom for school, so you're pretty experienced with that. I've reached out to some of you guys about how to or when might be available to do Zoom. My hope is this is kind of my plan is to do at least try to do a Zoom hangout thing on Monday and a Zoom hangout thing on Friday and have Forge on Wednesday. And so I'm going to try and figure out, I know earlier in the day works better for some and later in the day works better for others. And so I want to try and pick one of those days is the early day. One of those days is the later day. And If you can make both, cool. Like last time we did it, we ended up playing things. I think there's some other games that we can play as well. I've checked with a lot of you guys on what your schedules are, and I know like Melody and Alyssa and Joel, those of you guys that are at Portland Christian, you have times in the well, you have 2 to 5 potentially for Zoom meetings. It doesn't mean you're going to be in Zoom meetings for 3 hours. So that's not going to end up happening, but I know those times are set aside. So I'm going to look to try and work outside of those, even if we put a Zoom meeting at 6 o'clock or 6:30, so that worst case is everyone makes this one sort of a deal. Yeah, if you need help with something, but you're not going to need help for 3 hours. That's all she's saying, Alyssa. So I'm going to try and develop a schedule and say Monday is this time-ish, this time, and then this Fridays are this time. And then we do a board game where I do all the physical things. That's true. Could do team battleship. I don't know how that would work. Anyway, we'll figure that out. I will send out that in Instagram, email, and okay. Invite Captain Trinity. We'll see. You guys are going to have to raise some funds to be able to get him to show up. He does not come cheap. He is a very expensive celebrity. So anyway, love you guys. I'm over my time limit that I was hoping to get at for the most part. But you want to make a shirt that says Cap Try. I can leave this going for a couple minutes if you guys want to chat with each other. Yeah, feel free. Some people ask for just chat time. But my lesson's done. My stuff's done. So if y'all want to talk, that's fine. If you want to talk to us, that's cool too. All right. Solid. I need to stand up though. Hurting my back. Oh, dude, seriously? That is so cool. Is that lightning coming down? That's cool, yo.
Yeah. First, I thought that when I was doing the fading out thing, I was like, those look more like storm clouds.
Yeah, no, it works.
Oh, I need a drink. I'm gonna put magical or something below.
You could put, yeah. I mean, you can do anything.
Because on most of my pictures, when I draw school,
I like
the label.
I like that there isn't layout. Make sure you sign it too.
Yeah, I'll sign it to my name
Like a TS or something. Just develop your own signature so that the T and an S in the corner. People still on your pen. Oh. Now we want to see the painting. Okay. Casey, if I show him the painting. Let me go off air here. Take this off. All right, here's Tirza's painting. I don't know if I can get it facing right. Still working on it, but it's getting closer. I don't know if people can see it or not. You also could have turned it over like this and made this the sky, and that's the ocean. But then your Pegasus would be falling upside down.
Yep.
And some sort of squid monster would be grabbing him out. It's coral. Oh, it's great. She's working on it. Way better than you would do, Julie. Are you not much of a painter? Well, if you should just come out here and jump on the same screen so I don't have to keep hearing myself in delayed echo. I don't. Think about it. Think about it. Give it a day. Because you might decide to. She's so proud of herself. I like art, but playing canvas isn't your forte. Well, all you gotta do is you paint it all a solid color, then it's not plain canvas anymore. Simple. Then it can be anything. Art is tough. Yeah. This angle makes me look really fat. Just saying. I got like 12 chins right now.
What?
Or like no neck. It's weird. Let me go here. There we go. Now see it.
People are still hearing you.
I know. That's why it's funny. Then when you do paint on top, but then what do I paint on top of my beautiful black background? I don't know. Maybe you're just background painter.
I can't.
You can't art so. For those that are on, the 10 of you that are still on, me being one, and wife being another, and Melody being in the room, we are looking to make a decision about the Umatilla trip in the next 10 days or so. So we will let you guys know what the plan is and all that kind of stuff. So we just feel like it'd be premature to make a decision either way until we know a little bit more, a couple more weeks in. Okay? Hello, Hunter. I hover over it and it says tired face, but it definitely looks like
That is
angry
not
pooping.
tired.
It says tired face. It goes : Forge.
It does maths right? What does that mean?
It does. Matt's right.
Oh, got it.
He forgot the comment. I'm reading his punctuation. Hunter, you missed a lot, but it'll be posted. You can go back and watch the whole thing. I expect notes and dissertation. There's T. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was into my book I was reading because it's sitting right in front of me. You don't have any motivation. You're going to have to find some motivation, kid. Because if we came over and we were like, hey, do you want to go out and play volleyball? That would take no
Even my
motivation.
family tried to help. They were distracting her.
If it was, do you want to go out and play volleyball or do you want to play Minecraft? You would take no motivation. Goblet of fire.
For like a month, though. So not like a month, but like weeks.
Yeah, I read Goblet of Fire on audio while it read it to me in my headphones. It was amazing.
You read it while it read it to you?
Yeah, it counts as reading. It's on Goodreads. You're only 150 pages in. Holy moly.
It's like 800 pages.
Yeah, you got a bit of work to do then, Chica.
Melissa, you're being graded on your reading.
Yeah, you're being graded on your reading. Mrs. Thornton is going to be expecting you to do your reading.
Isn't that due tomorrow?
I think it was due
I
Monday.
think it was
No.
due today.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday.
Does your book need to be done reading by
No,
Thursday?
not the book down a certain
No,
amount
she
of
has to
time.
have a lot, like a certain amount of
No, it's tomorrow. Have you done your time? It's like a prison question. Have you done your time?
Those to read like 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
How long though?
15 minutes at least.
15 minutes. You go just a smidge beyond that.
Like 2 hours at one
I
time.
think I read for 8 hours yesterday. I just lied on my reading homework. Jeremy.
Wow.
The longest I read for without getting or whatever.
So you lied on it? Like you laid on top of it? Because,
IE is
yeah, but
lie.
when you lie,
No, when,
when
you
you-
lie down, it's LIE or LM.
yeah, but you can't do LIED.
L-A-Y.
It laid.
Yeah, it's actually laid down instead of, it's LAID.
You went ahead on your reading log, but you're going to make up for it. So you exaggerated what you did,
What?
but you're going to somehow make up for it?
She
What?
doesn't know the exact page number. She just guesses.
Oh my goodness.
And all the okay symbols.
I'm not sure I'm okay with you being Melody's best friend anymore. So many liars, half-truthers, exaggerators. What have you been doing for the last 2 weeks when you've not been in school? Reading shouldn't be homework. You're right. You should just do it on your own. But I wouldn't. When I was your guys' age, I wouldn't.
Friends, Alyssa.
I wouldn't have done it when I was your guys' age either. Just saying.
Because you were older.
No, I just wasn't a
What?
reader.
Actually, I can do. But Hunter, catch up.
So why are we watching?
So why are we lying? No, we are not lying. Alyssa and Jeremy are lying on their homework. You're reading the wrong books, dude. You need to find some books that you'd actually be willing to read. And then actually read them. It's magical. You're busy
Hunter.
doing a raid.
Hunter, we know. You said that.
Are you playing Minecraft?
Yes, he's doing a raid in Minecraft.
I care not about Minecraft.
I have earned so many emeralds in the last, well, I haven't played in a while. The last several times I've played with raids, it's crazy. Oh, Destiny. Who cares about Destiny?
What's this?
Destiny's like a crappier version of Halo.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say Flight 2.
Getting paid to play a game.
Yeah, well, that's what he says. Like painting, reading, walking the dog, skating, Minecraft with friends, organizing. Why don't you organize letters? Here, how about this? Organize letters into words, words into sentences, sentences into paragraphs, paragraphs into pages, and read a dang book.
And make a dang quesadilla.
Make yourself a dang quesadilla. He gets paid too much? Or too much? Who's still on this chat?
A lot of people. It's kind of crazy.
Alyssa, Hunter, Jeremy. No, it says 8, but I'm only counting.
Well, I have
5.
Hunter, Jeremy.
Maybe Allie is still on here, but she's not.
No, they're gone now.
Huh?
The participants, there's only like 5 of us left. Yeah, but Corin wanted to play Minecraft with me today, so.
So what?
What about your lit lab, Alyssa?
Yes. Corbin's only wanting to play because he's already done.
No, it says he didn't have any work.
Whatever. Still, I'm going to text his dad and tell Corbin to stop distracting you from your homework. I have his dad's number. Yeah. You guys need to be reaching out to Nicole, either on email or whatever, and telling her to show up for this. She's on YouTube all the time. Why isn't she at this? So, you guys need to be reaching out to Nicole.
I don't have her phone number.
Alyssa
Alyssa won't give it to
Email.
me.
You have her school email.
Give your school email. And wife, you should be text Nancy too.
Start sweating.
Stars sweating.
Uh-oh, Hunter knows where we are now, so that's not good.
What?
He knows where we are on Origin nights.
I don't care. I posted it everywhere.
I'm just kidding.
Dude, it's been on my post. The last 2 weeks, I've simultaneous streamed. You were on it, and I was on
Yeah, you were on this last week, dude.
Instagram and YouTube, but I'm not doing Instagram anymore because I can't read the comments because they go by too fast. So just doing YouTube. Plus, there's some people that don't have Instagram, but they do. Everyone seems to have YouTube, so or at least has access to it. And as it is, we might move to Zoom anyway. And if that's the case, you probably won't be invited. But no one ever seemed to say if they preferred Zoom over YouTube for this. So I don't know. Now you're not gonna what? You watched whose videos?
I heard I want Nicole.
You'll invite him. Yeah, but I have waiting room. What are you being accused of? I don't know. Hunter, did you ever watch my worship video from this last week? Jeremy, did you watch it? Wouldn't give P the phone number?
What?
What?
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think it's supposed to be up the phone number.
Give up what phone number? I don't know what he's talking about.
How do you not have Nicole's number?
I don't think Nicole has a phone.
No, but she has an email probably, like the iCloud thing.
Oh. I emailed her on the school account last week or 2 weeks ago, and she didn't send anything back. So
We should probably just check it.
you guys could probably do. Hey, this is what you guys could do. Melody and Alyssa, you guys could create it, or help Melody do it. You can create a Zoom thing for all of your friends, and you can Zoom and connect. And you can just email her the Zoom thing. You guys can all jump on and you can talk with people, like in the mornings. Wait, I don't want to do that because Alyssa won't get her reading stuff done if I give her something else to do. Right. Who's still on? How do we have 7 people on here?
Why is anyone autocorrecting to do tea?
Do tea. Oh my gosh, let's just. That's almost a sentence.
We scroll down. Is it?
That's all the way down. She's just excited that I said doing the Zoom thing. You keep clicking send, sorry.
What?
Are you doing this on your iPad or something?
That's the only thing she can do it on.
She has her Chromebook.
You can't do that kind of stuff on the Chromebook.
You can't get on a YouTube.
They'll probably get mad at you.
Not if you say it's church.
Texting my phone because my phone is not on.
I don't know. Why didn't Emily show up tonight?
I don't know, but I do know that Mia and Aiden, they've been working nonstop.
Mia was on the lab. She was doing
She's been working, her mom said since 8 a.m. she's been working on home.
she's trying to get it done so she doesn't have to do it all week. That's what she said. She said she's doing a chem lab. It's not required that you finish today, but she doesn't want extra work tomorrow. Ouch. That hailstorm the other day, that was some crazy junk.
Oh my God.
What's wrong, Mel?
Her neck's bothering her. I think it's because she's been sitting in her bed like this.
You mean to pop your back? It'll
It's her
help.
neck, not her back.
All right. It's called spring, not just Oregon. We finally got some spring weather. I mean, you have an easel. Don't you have an easel for painting?
Well, I think you have one actually.
I think you do.
I probably do.
Okay, so.
Hey, you have one. Didn't your Grammy give you
Okay,
one?
so you put it up.
Probably would still work for
Probably
that, maybe.
says-
She gave me a last one.
But I thought it sat up like that. I don't know. I don't know.
She gave me a last.
Max says hi. Did you just call your dad by his first name?
There is no package. It's not in a package.
Okay, I'll keep it for about a minute, fold it in half, so that we're on it.
You're playing Halo. Bye. You should be reading. You should be reading. I'm gonna text your dad and tell him that you should be reading. Texting him right now.
Right this very second. She's been on her Xbox like all day. She played Halo, then she played Minecraft, and
See, this looks
she's
really
playing
good.
Halo right now.
Alright, you don't have to add anything else, it looks great. I mean, you can,
Putting magic here. Either,
like writing the word magic,
yeah.
why here?
Cause there's nothing there.
But this is the sky, so it doesn't have to be.
All right, I'm out. I'm gonna end the stream. See if he.
But that's what she would sign it.
Bye.
Sign